Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you something, and please turn on your subtitles on so that you would understand, okay? And it's gonna begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Emmanuel, élevé dans sa famille, est avide de saisir tout objet nouveau en vue d'une exploration active, le passer d'une main à l'autre, le porter à la bouche par exemple. Totalement absorbé par ces manipulations, l'enfant prête peu d'attention à son entourage. Annette, qui est aussi anorexique, a l'attitude figée. Son désintéressement est presque total. L'anxiété grandissante se traduit par des mouvements de lèvres, des clignotements et par une respiration irrégulière. L'autisme se lit dans le regard vague de cette petite fille.
So, relating to that documentary, there was such a magnificent documentary or study that was done a long time ago. I realized that a big factor of how I am now as an adult is in relation to my past experiences as a child. My view of the world is mostly dictated with my beliefs that was created when I was still a kid. For example, as a child, my family was very close-knit. I remember that as a child, we would usually gather to the province so that we would meet my cousins and my aunts and uncles. And as a child, that made me believe that family is very important. That's why right now I really take high regard when it comes to spending time with family, and that I believe my family relationships are very important. On the other hand, when it comes to my friends, people outside my family, I figured that I really can't maintain long relationships with other people, and I figured it was because of one experience as a child when it really shaped my belief when it comes to friendships. So when I was a child, I had this friend during grade 1. And the reason why we became friends in the first place is when during class, she just looked at me straight in the eye, and then I just stared at her. And during recess, she came up to me and gave me some colorful stationery. So that's how we became friends. And I really thought that we were going to be best friends forever. She was my first friend when I transferred to that school. Sadly, unfortunately, she actually transferred to another school on the following year. So we were not already classmates during grade 2. And I didn't remember at that time, but my mom kept saying to me that I actually cried when she left. And because I was very hurt during that time, my mother told me that friends aren't there with you forever. They just come and go. People just come and go in your life. And I figured that is one of the biggest explanations why my friendships and my relationships doesn't last longer, especially when it comes to my friends during grade school and high school. Somehow I find it hard to maintain a relationship with someone for a very long time outside my family. Sometimes I still interact with my former classmates, but it's like sometimes I feel that my heart isn't there. Though it's not necessarily a bad thing because, I like being a lone wolf sometimes. Sometimes only. I want to be able to do things alone and not depend on other people. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think I have to balance my friendships, at the same time, myself, my relationship, my time with myself. Now, in that documentary, it says a whole lot about belief systems and how it shapes you and how it shapes how you see the world and how you act in the world. So, as children, the most critical period in our entire lives is in the age 1 to 7. This is usually the time in your life where you absorb information from your environment and the experiences that you have, and you are unconscious with what you believe on. But it does not necessarily mean that you can't change your identity, that your beliefs, that you're just going to be that kind of person for a very long time, as in forever. Change is very constant if you have the will to do so. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you, as a child, you believe that you were not beautiful, that you can't achieve much, that you're not talented. It doesn't necessarily mean that that belief is going to be with you forever. You can actually change that. There are really beliefs that have protected us from getting hurt before, but these beliefs are not anymore helpful to us to become the person that we are supposed to be or we want to be. So what do we do in order for us to change our beliefs? First, the starting point really is to become self-aware of your beliefs and your identity and how you see yourself. Because through that self-awareness, you're able to know what to change. Like for example, before, I really thought that I couldn't achieve much in this life, that I am very limited, that I can't change much in my situation. When I was a child, I was very, very sickly. I had asthma, and I'm really thankful that my mom and dad really took care of me, and with all those medications I had, even though they were quite expensive, I felt sorry for that. I remember every morning I used to have a nebulizer, and I would bring a puff with me. I forgot what it is called specifically, but it was a puff that I bring with me most of the times. If I can't breathe properly, then I would just puff it. And I remember going to the hospital monthly. I even remember that I had this one time when I was admitted to the hospital because of my asthma. Over time, as I grew older, that limited feeling stayed with me even though I didn't have asthma anymore. When I was in high school and half of my year in college, I found solitude in manga, anime, K-drama. I was just staying here at home and always lying down in bed when there is no school. I didn't even go out much with my friends. I actually lived a very unhealthy life. I would eat junk food. I would always want to drink soft drinks the whole time after every meal. I had also times when I don't take a bath for 5 days when there is no school. Okay. And I figured that I couldn't do much in this life because I was limited. Even though my asthma wasn't there anymore, even though I became healthier, that familiar routine and that familiar belief stayed with me for a very long time, not until when I reached my 19th year of existence in this world. I was already fed up with how I was living. I was already fed up that my life was very boring. I was already fed up that I believed that my life is limited, that I couldn't change. I was just fed up, living and looking at other people's lives on social media and on movies and wondering if I could have that kind of life as well. So I was fed up that I was not creating the life that I wanted. And I was scared at that time, like, what if I'm going to be like that forever? I didn't want to be that same person a year after that. And that's where I started to change my belief systems and my identity. I knew that I needed to change my identity, my habits, my belief systems in order to help me become the person that I wanted to be. I had to make tons of realizations about myself, that I can achieve anything that I want, not on the world's terms, Not because somebody told me to do this and to do that, but in myself, I really wanted to do it. So my day right now, or how I live right now, may not be perfect. I'm still not there yet, but slowly my whole day routine is getting better. Like for example, I'm happy with myself that I wake up at 5 a.m. to exercise, to read scriptures, to read books, to study, to take a bath early and not take a bath after 5 days, to work on my YouTube channel, which is the dream project that I really wanted to do since a long time ago. So at night also, I meditate, I do yoga, and I journal. So these are the healthy habits that I really wanted to integrate with me for a very long time. It was really a series of realizations, a series of removing these beliefs that have protected me a long time ago that is not helping me now. It was a series of putting in the beliefs that is going to help me and removing the beliefs that is not helping me anymore. So guys, I hope this video has helped you realize the importance of belief systems. And yeah, this has been Krisha. Nice to meet you. Bye bye guys. See you soon. God bless you.